Sorry, we got this one coming.
Costines donated $107. I'm a bit older than those under 40. Nothing is better than having a family as you move ahead in life. Girls and guys, be family-minded. People don't care about the pics of you on a beach at 22 when 70, except the wife/hubby you took them or kids who view.
Word.
Truth.
Word.
That's facts.
We'll go around the table. What should a guy bring to the table?
Safety, security, somebody to be like a leader, a mentorship, something like that. Next person.
I don't know if there's a one-size-fits-all for all relationships. I think that's just gonna have to be determined by each individual couple. But I would say reliably, you could say that your partner should probably bring like integrity, honesty, open communication. I think are good foundations that partners can bring to a relationship.
I think.
Curtis_Leon donated $100.
I don't know
Brian
about that.
is the modern-day Socrates. I have learned so many new phrases since watching whatever. Red pill and blue pill, chat, and I finally figured out what 304 means. Dating apps are the main problem since it makes men not come out of their comfort zone.
Yo, Curtis, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Modern day Socrates. I mean, that's quite an endorsement, but thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I thought that 304 was about the actual area code.
It is the area
Because I was
code.
like, I'm from West Virginia. Are you like trying to dunk on me for being from West Virginia?
I looked it up too. I was like, I'm 619. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Never been there.
Okay, but you were answering the question.
Oh yeah, I think just very compassionate, very caring. For me, obviously the situation's a little deviated, so probably someone with an open mind in a sense where like maybe there might be another lady in the relationship to kind of balance things out and kind of.
Oh my
Beaten
goodness.
Cheeks donated
Thank you, man.
$99. Biggest tell in today's society is the lack of human interaction, and all thanks to #MeToo and #BelieveAllWomen BS. It's why men are lonelier and going black-pilled. But thanks to dating apps, I don't use /against for having me approach women in public much easier.
Yo, Cheeks, yeah. I mean,
I'm
I think
not sure it is me too. Like, I just don't think that normie men really even care or know about or research those types of things. I think it is more related to the dating apps and the overall lack of social connection and community that we have going on.
Yeah, I think Me Too is a component. Probably the bigger thing is social media.
It's like,
dating
why
apps.
are people not getting married? It's because of no-fault divorce. Like, I just don't think normie men even know about, like, family court statistics. They aren't researching these things. They don't really know or care about those things.
I think a lot of guys have worried about like being
but those
falsely
are more
accused.
Like online concerns. I feel.
I feel like I heard this in high school from like normie dudes that I went to school with, where they worried that like just about being falsely accused of having
There is that concern, definitely, but I just feel like normie men don't really engage with or
I think
know
the
about
concern's
these
there, but
things.
I don't know if it's enough to have a chilling effect so deeply that they wouldn't be like engaging
Yeah.
with women, period.
Like, the real answer is much more boring and depressing. It's just that people aren't having social connections anymore.
The retreat I went on, obviously like a sex therapy camp, but I would, because I can only speak from my experience, but I would strongly recommend it to men who've experienced false accusing. There was men, women there, and it was a very healthy releasing space. And I've never witnessed that in my life. I always saw men as this stoic figure and just TV and just grown up. And I finally got to see real men just kind of tell their stories and be vulnerable. And I heard so many stories, and I'm like, wow, this is what they keep inside. I'm so sorry. Wow, this is what they're keeping inside. It was profound. I just was silent for literally 2 days, watching and witnessing, and so.
I wanted to revisit your answer to the question of what men should bring to the table in a relationship. Mm-hmm. You started going into something about how there should be another woman in a relationship.
Berenice a Virgin donated $100. Bricks and bring out the fruit salad. BTW Erin, are you a virgin? That's the world on the street anyway.
The word on the street.
Did you answer the question? I don't think we got to
No,
that.
I think we moved on or whatever. No, I'm not a virgin.
Oh,
Wait, why were you resistant to saying that before?
I should have just been open that I didn't want to answer the question at that time. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a virgin. Women have sex with men they're not in love with all the time.
Okay, so you were saying there should be another woman in a relationship.
yeah, in my
She
relationship.
clarified.
Okay.
I
She
kind
has
of
other men, is my guess.
no. I want the man to have another woman because so I have MS, and so sometimes I think it gets like too crazy for people to handle, like emotionally, like, oh my god, like I don't want my, like I'm a pleaser. I'm a bit of a pleaser in relationships. Like I want the man to be happy. I want everybody to be happy. Even like, women, when I have friends, I want them to be happy. And this is just a insecurity that I have recently, but
So you want another woman to be involved in your relationship out of
in-
insecurity?
I guess that's where I'm at right now, like in
That
dealing
doesn't
with
sound
my
very
own.
healthy.
I think what she's Didn't trying say to it was. say, in my opinion, is that you would rather have your man be with another woman and also you.
Yes,
So
yes.
out of the blue, you're not shook that he's like cheating on you or
if-
doing some shicey shit behind your back.
I just
fall back.
Yeah. Well, so if I get sick or something and I just feel like, oh my gosh, like he's unhappy, now I'm even more unhappy.
I mean, wouldn't you hope that someone sticks by you
I would
through
hope.
that moment and like loves you unconditionally? Like that is the ideal, don't we agree?
Yeah, I'd hope. And I think it's just the insecurity of, oh my gosh, what if it's too much for him? What if he just wants to break up because he's like, I can't deal with dating a person with a disability? And it's happened before where that's been like, oh, I don't see girls with disabilities. And it's just, I'm like, okay, like you kind of get like, yeah.
Beaten Cheeks donated $99. Mary, as you are below a normie, you don't know how low middle class men think, like I do. I speak to them daily in non-big cities. Many of them are very well aware of the matriarchal hold women have in regards to the sexual dynamics women have over normies.
Yeah, that makes sense because if all these men are on the internet are speaking out about how they're worried that they're going to get falsely accused,
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $100. Mary, a cool dark elf, but enough of us normie men have watched enough men have their lives burned down by divorce, and accused of all sorts of horrible things that we 100% pay attention. Nothing is new under the sun.
I guess what I was referring to is men that don't like watch podcasts like this one, like men who aren't super engaged with the discourse about dating and stuff like that online. Like that's what I meant by the term normie. And also to clarify, I don't live in a big city. I live in a very rural area in West Virginia.
Well, Dave, as our resident boomer here, okay, could you say that you're 47,
Thank you,
right?
thank you.
Wait,
okay.
are you actually a boomer or are you
No,
Gen
no,
X?
No, I'm Gen
I-
X. I'm Gen X. I was accepting it though. Yeah.
Okay, would you say, like, were you ever worried about being falsely accused during your time in college?
No, it wasn't really a thing.
Do you think it
wasn't a
is now,
thing.
or like do you just
Yeah, I
realize-
guess. Well, Me
You
Too
Me Too
kind of.
really,
Me Too
like-
kind of went sideways, but it wasn't. I think that it's interesting because I'm usually not around a bunch of like early 20s girls like this, and it's interesting. It seems like everyone's very in their head about what's going on in the world or in life or something. I actually don't mean that very judgy. Really, you all seem very sweet and lovely. But like something about the internet has really like just broken people. It's very obvious to me. I don't mean that. I don't mean you guys are broken. I mean that I do politics for a living. Trust me, everyone in politics is broken. But something about the internet that we thought was going to make us more social, right? It's called social media. It made us way more antisocial and anxiety. I mean, you're all nodding at the same time. Like everyone's feeling that thing. It's really weird. I mean, I was born in 1976. That's not like I'm not that old, and I remember. It's funny. My guys, Phoenix is my producers here. He's around early 20s like you guys, and like I always joke. It's like you have no idea what the world was like pre-internet, and actually it was pretty good. It really was pretty good. Like you could just like
I'm so
you
jealous
could
of
just
you for
be
that.
right. Like no, it was really awesome, and so many things. Also, I think it has to do with timing. Also, that you can get anything you want whenever you want it, like whether it's sex
Instant
or
gratification.
all of that. But it's not even just that. It's like you can binge watch a show where back in the day, like you had to watch a show if you
One
wanted
week
to
at a
watch it,
time.
Seinfeld at 9 o'clock on Thursday. Thursdays, like you couldn't watch 10 episodes in a row. You guys have heard of Seinfeld, right?
Yeah.
You got the reference, okay. But like, so something about the speed of all of this, and also like, this one will blow your mind. At the beginning of the internet, when the internet first came out, like you could scroll down to a page, like if you just went to like CNN.com or just you were buying something, like you were buying a shirt on H&M or something, like you'd scroll down and the page would end. That was how the internet worked. Like you could get to the end of a page.
Wow.
Where now we have infinite scroll.
Wow.
And there's a guy that developed infinite scroll. I don't remember his name, but he basically regrets it because he realized that he unleashed something that allows us to just doom scroll all day long. And like, I get plenty of hate online. If I wanted to, I could spend all day long just having people just tell me horrible things, but like at some point you just disconnect. I do a month off my phone and computer and electronics and news and everything every August. I've done it for 6 years.
Nice.
I would definitely recommend you guys try it. Like literally nothing. Have no idea what's going on in the world for a month, and
Do you think
it'll help reset you.
your sexuality maybe influenced your experience with like not having to worry about, I guess, like false accusations or feeling that sort of anxiety, or no?
Maybe, I guess. I mean, like,
Is Me Too even a thing in the
probably
gay
not.
world?
I mean, I guess maybe to some extent. There's always power dynamics in a relationship, right? Or in just meeting somebody or hooking up or something. But like, there's something different if it's two guys or two girls. There is something fundamentally different, I suppose, related to who would be harassing who, or
There
something
is just the
like
physical
that.
difference
Yeah,
between
there's a great
sexes,
movie.
yeah.
Do you ever see the movie Disclosure? It's with Michael Douglas and Demi Moore. It's like from probably like 95 or something, and in the movie she's his boss and she sexually harasses him, and that flips
Jones
it.
donated $100. Brian, you're a modern day philosophical chat that all
love
young
you.
men need
They
to
love
take
you.
notice to. Highest compliment. To the panel, what do
thanks.
you want
I don't
from a
think I'm-
marriage material man? S-workers, why do you want men to respect you when you don't respect yourselves?
Are we going to finish going around with what men should bring to the table, or are we going to put that to rest?
He kind of just asked that.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. Like, what do you want from a marriage material man? Also, he's asked, S-workers, why do you want men to respect you when you don't respect yourselves?
Do they want men to respect them, though? I feel like you
Usually
kind of
they always talk
forfeit
about
that. You forfeit the possibility of men respecting you when you become an SW, right?
Wait.
Well,
No.
I think that, like, and what I'm thinking that your meaning is obviously not like anything physical or being like, oh my gosh, like screaming in your face, or nothing like violent or anything, but probably like, oh, like, were you thinking of respect in a sense where, oh, if you're seeing multiple men, he can see multiple women too, not like physical, like, oh, you deserve to get socked, or like something like that, and that's what I'm assuming that's not what that was.
Well, I'm also talking about just your male clients. I don't believe that they respect the women that they are paying to penetrate.
Some don't, and that's where oh yeah.
None do. You can finish.
Oh yeah. Some don't, and that's where lately, now that I'm 31, I'm kind of like finding my voice. I feel like in my 20s I was just very quiet and just kind of went along, had good girl conditioning, and went along with the program a lot. And I noticed it got me, which I was going to comment on something you said that was really neat. Like, you were talking about how women were doing kind of subverting a very early. How do I say
They're
it?
doing wife things for their boyfriends.
Thank you. I would subvert to the wrong man in a sense where, like, I would.
Do you mean submit?
So I'm learning submission's earned, and submission is when you trust someone and they're a safe man.
Yeah.
And you know, but subversion is like they're not safe, they're just there, and it's because they're a man. I would notice I would do that, and I would notice that's when dangerous situations would happen with clients. And now I'm realizing, like, hey, if someone is hurting me or saying some things, I'm gonna end it. No, like, this is not okay. And I have my boundaries, and if someone respects it, then I'm like, okay, then I'm going with you, and I'll submit to this experience, but I won't subvert to an experience that's aggressive of any type.
Well, I'm glad that that's a possibility for you,
Yeah.
but I would assume that for the vast majority of sex workers in the world, they do not have the ability to
Correct.
protect themselves or advocate for themselves in those situations at all.
Like third world countries, and
That's,
yeah.
I mean, not even just third world countries.
Even here.
It's everywhere. They part of that line of work, if you want to call it work, is being disrespected and dehumanized and objectified. Like, that is
I was
what it is.
dehumanized for the first time. I'll let you say your piece, but I actually finally realized at age 30 what dehumanizing meant, and I didn't know what it meant for so long. And I have a story, but you share your piece.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, no.
So tell your story.
Well,
yeah.
I thought you said you need to think what the story is, but
Oh, no, yeah,
I think that maybe what the Coy Jones is trying to get at here is when it comes to a relationship, most men would not want to be in a relationship with a sex worker, whether in the past or present.
But you can't speak that for all and for everybody.
Well, sure, of course I'm not speaking for all, but would you disagree, generally speaking, men don't want to date prostitutes and porn stars? And
no, there's plenty of men out there that
That's
do.
not what I said. Generally speaking, I would say most men do not want to have long-term relationships with women who are involved with sex work.
I disagree.
You think the majority of men, so more than 50% of men, want to date and have long-term relationships with women who are involved in sex work?
It's 50-50, dude.
You think so? Did they do
50%
studies
of men
on that?
would date
I feel
sex
like
workers.
50% of men.
I don't know. I'm not talking numbers and stuff. I don't know that. I'm just saying that we're all different, and who knows? Like,
I'm not okay. You have to understand. I'm not saying that it's impossible for a woman to, if you have a past of sex work, current sex work, prostitution, whatever it is, it's not going to be impossible for you to find a long-term relationship or a husband. However, I don't think my statement is wrong, which is the majority of men do not want to date or wife up a prostitute.
okay.
Or a girl
I'm
who's
just
done
saying
porn.
I disagree with that. But
Well, I mean, you kind of are not seeing the bigger picture, right? Because the only men who would date you are the ones who do feel okay with the fact that you're
I want to bring
a
it
sex
back
worker.
real quick to the whole how we're not respected and all this. You know what I mean? How disgusting is it for people to come to sex workers and or think about sex workers and think that we deserve not to be respected just because of our industry? It shows that you're very narrow-minded. It shows that you lack empathy. It shows a lot, actually. We are human. We are people. We're very open-minded. We're compassionate. People can come to us at the Bunny Ranch and we can sit down and have one-on-one conversations with people. They feel safe with us. And people like you guys, and I'm not saying like you guys, but people that do believe in what I don't, it's scary. It really is scary that we have a group of people that are like so narrow-minded like that.
I don't believe that you deserve to be disrespected.
One sec. Let's define the terms here a little bit. So when you say narrow-minded, also let's define respect, right? So I pulled it up, dictionary, Oxford Dictionary. Respect, number one, a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. And then the other one is due regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others. So when we use this term respect, I think it can sometimes be interpreted differently than other people. I don't think what the super chatter is necessarily saying is that we would we would treat you in a rude or mean or contemptuous sort of way because of the work you do. I don't think that's really it. It's just
Like an old penny.
Can I add something?
sure.
So you're saying that they deserve respect regardless of their industry. And you're being narrow-minded by not respecting someone because of their industry. But I guarantee there's some sort of industry, some sort of job some guy would have. And he said respect is deep admiration. That you're not going to deeply admire him for the work he does. And respect is not deserved ever. You earn respect. And some men don't respect sex work. And it just because it doesn't benefit you doesn't mean it's bad.
I also think you guys probably have a lot more power than you think. Well, you probably both know that you have a lot more power where maybe they don't see the power that you have. The guys are paying you. You're really in charge of this thing. I remember I had a buddy who used to love going to strip clubs, and we'd go to I would go with him, and it was like, whatever. And it was funny because if I would tell the stripper that I was gay, they'd want to grind on you like double time to see what would happen. So, and like physical contact is nice, so that was fine. But like, but I would always think like, you know, the sort of normal way to think about it was somehow the girl was disrespecting herself and she's out of control and blah, blah, blah. But it's like the girl was, usually they were earning money to go to college or something, blah, blah, blah. Both of you seem like you have a good head on your shoulders. And at if I had to guess, like at some point you probably will be out of this line of work and you'll probably find a guy and you'll probably have kids.
So?
Yeah. Yeah, you will. Like that's kind of how life works. Like life, you don't just stay in the same mental or physical state
And I think
or
my
spiritual
parents-
state forever. And you'll look back and you might go, maybe some of that wasn't great. Maybe some of it was. But if you're saving some money now and like doing something that gives some people pleasure, like I get why people can be all judgy about it,
Right.
but I think you guys are
And
gonna be fine.
at the end of the day, my parents are happy with what I'm doing. My
Your-
parents support me with what I'm doing. My grandparents, my uncle is probably watching this right now. So
Wait, just to be clear, your parents
know
support
everything about what I
you
do for
doing
work.
prostitution?
I'm a legal escort in Nevada.
Sure.
Okay, that's what that means.
That's, yeah.
Yes.
You are a prostitute.
I am
Whether
legally
legal or-
doing things. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not
That's not
hurting
what I'm
myself.
saying. But your parents,
My parents
support you doing prostitution.
My parents are happy with the way I'm living my life.
They are?
I bought an RV. I'm on the way to buy a house. I have done so much for myself being in this industry. I do have the right head on my shoulders, and my dad knows that.
By the way, people prostitute themselves for a lot of other stuff besides sex. You
Politics,
know what I mean?
you know what I mean?
She's not.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that towards you. I mean, like, trust me, I come out of the world of politics. Like,
Yeah.
people sell out and do anything for money and say what
And-
they believe, and then they act contrary. So, like, you know,
Dave,
prostitution.
But I don't know
wanna
why it was
ask
so
you-
hard for you to wrap your brain around that, though, because it's like it's like
Because
you were
parents
having
don't
a hard
tend to be
time.
okay with stuff like
But
that.
my mom
Parents-
is
love
okay.
me
I
for
come
me,
from
and
a
that's
cultured
what my
family,
parents
so-
like me for. They
when
love me
something
for me.
that doesn't commonly happens, you get surprised. It's not common for parents to be okay with their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
it
pretty
surprised
rare.
him.
My parents
It's an
just are
acceptable
happy
thing
that I'm
to be
not hurting
surprised
nobody.
about.
I'm not hurting myself.
Thank you.
And I
Thank you
am
very
making
much.
money,
Thank-
and I am going
That's
to be
good.
doing
No, that's
things.
that's good.
I'm always leveling up in life, and why wouldn't my parents be proud of me succeeding in life?
Well, they're perhaps proud of you for the success, but it is surprising.
Somewhere where it's done legally and safely.
Sure, but I mean, it's surprising that you're. Let me ask you a question. Do you think your parents would prefer you to be an attorney, a
If they could
doctor
hit
versus a
switch,
prostitute?
all of a sudden, that would mean you do something else with your life and you have an equal amount of independence.
My
Would they
parents
do
are
that?
so proud of me for being independent and free. I'm
You can-
absolutely
But if
free.
you could
I'm a
do that in
nomad.
another
I
way,
travel
would
in
they
an
want
RV. They
You-
would want me to do what's best for me. My parents want me to do whatever I'm happy with and whatever I'm content with. And that's what
But
love
I mean,
is.
You could be happy and content
And
and
I-
independent without doing sex work.
but
Her
it
parents
makes me
don't care.
happy to connect with individuals on a different
Her
level like
parents don't
that.
think
Hold
like
on.
Coy
we think.
_ Jones
One
donated
sec, one sec,
$100. Brian, your platform has the discussions most people won't / will not talk about.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Respect. Let me clarify, most men would not respect the self-worth of OSW, nor would not want to be with. My girl works an honest job, which is why she is my pride and joy.
I don't know if that changes so much. Would not respect the self-worth of a sex worker.
So
Okay.
I was gonna say my mom. So my mom wasn't too happy about sex work because she's pretty conservative.
That's common.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's more common, especially for older people. If you're old enough to be a parent,
she's a baby boomer too.
yeah, then
so.
you tend to not want your child to be selling their body.
She loved that I did the Tantra retreat. She likes that I'm getting into the holistic side of the sexuality, and she's hoping that maybe one day I have my own, my own holistic Tantra practice. She likes that, so she was
But
kind of rooting for that.
I
You
think
seem to
parents
get-
are going to adopt a more libertarian mindset towards their
Maybe.
children engaging in sex work if they see that their child is like safe and financially secure.
Yeah,
And
Okay,
then
it is a safe
but
one.
once,
anyway.
if that occurs as a product of their
Hold on.
job, then I think they're going to be more likely to
Okay,
be
but
like,
the
you know what,
amount of
maybe
money I
maybe
make,
I was
they
being
don't-
more
like,
judgmental.
Here's the thing, though. You were deeply offended that he was surprised that your parents support it. And I'm saying the only reason he's surprised is because parents, because they're old and not
Noted.
usually libertarian, don't
Noted.
often support it. So
Noted.
there's nothing
Just let her talk.
you need to be
Let her talk.
offended about.
I'm
for
not
him being
offended. I'm just saying,
then
like,
why'd you raise your voice and get upset that he
I
was
said
surprised?
it was just super weird that he couldn't comprehend. That's just
And I
all
and I
said.
debunked that. I explained
It's not
why.
that weird.
I come
Most
from a
parents would
very
not be okay
religious
with that.
background, so I'm actually Buddhist, and I have a sister that is actually a sex worker. And my dad was in the Vietnam War, so he's super OG, like old school, you know. Wife should cook, clean, you know, stay at home, take care of the kids while he provides and does everything. That's what I grew up with. But as my sister is a sex worker, he doesn't mind. He doesn't care. He says like, "Hey, you are your own individual person. You can do what you want to do."
Yeah.
But that's just
Disavow. The
Okay,
masculine.
I
We
come-
need the
I'm
masculine
Buddhist, so-
instinct to come in and
Where are
shame
these
this
fathers
degenerate
protecting their
behavior.
daughters?
Like
there's
I'm
no
living my
shame.
life for myself and nobody
Yeah.
else.
So
you know
like
what I
my
mean?
dad is like,
not good.
like I said, religious,
Because
but
the
it's just
reason
like, he's
that
saying
the-
like that's
It's my
you.
life.
hold on, but so
So-
you're saying your father, your cousin, she's a sex worker.
No, my sister is a sex worker.
Your sister's a
yes.
sex
She
worker,
has an
and your
OnlyFans.
father's cool with it.
My father does. Yeah, he's cool
That's
with it.
you know why he's uncomfortable, like disavowing or shaming it or feeling like it's brought dishonor, is because the current social climate that we're in is very liberal, it's very progressive, and if you take a stance on any of
Grid One
this
Motorsports
shit,
donated
you're gonna
$100.
get the brunt of the
A
current social climate
304
and
will be
be
a 304.
Thank you, man.
Those choices are theirs to make, but let's not deny that men do not value anything they pay for as much as things they earn. Men win a woman's love. Men earn a woman's trust. These are valued above all else.
I like
So,
the
Dave, I wanted to ask
latter part
you.
of that. I like the latter part of that.
Hold on. So that blows my mind though. Like your father's cool with your sister doing, when you say sex work, we talking stripper or what?
She does like OnlyFans and stuff like that. So her content.
Well, that's
is, like,
different than that's a little
I
different.
mean, yeah,
than-
she also does like meet up with people and like for work, and like she gets paid for
Oh, so she escorts too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what she does. So my dad doesn't mind. He doesn't care. Like he says that you can either go out and be an independent woman, or you could be a stay-at-home wife.
And
You
this
can
is exactly
choose
why
your-
society is failing. Is we don't have strong men saying no, this is not okay for you to do.
So
So
you're
Dave
saying
is
that
the
my
only
dad is not a
parent
strong
on this panel.
man
I
or
want,
a strong
I
parent
want
or
us
anything
to
like
hear
No, not
Dave's
necessarily.
perspective as the only parent on this panel.
People are not listening.
Sure,
well,
we'll
Would
have
you
to-
Wait.
be okay with
Brian,
your
hold
children,
on.
even though they're very young now?
Yeah.
Would you be okay with either of your children becoming sex workers?
No, well, of course, my preference would be no, and again, I don't mean to. It's weird to have two people here that obviously seem like great girls. So I'm not making this about you guys at all. So the preference, I think, for every parent would be no. But I think what your dad is probably saying about your sister is she's out there making a living for herself. I assume she doesn't live with them. Like she's got her
Yeah,
own
no,
place.
yeah,
She's
she
like
has
doing
her own
thing.
place,
Like
she has her own
I get that
car,
it's not ideal in that in a certain sense of living, but you know, life is about figuring out. There's a lot of people that are going to live on the margins, and you gotta kind of figure out ways that can work as a society.
Okay,
so,
but tell
so
us
my
why your preference is no.
No, because as I said, because I don't, as I said to them, like at some point, I bet if I was to ask either one of you, at some point you probably want to meet a guy that you'd really fall in love with and like be with him and have kids and have a family and everything else. They may not be quite there yet, so it's just sort of it's a step of getting to somewhere that you want to be. I'm not sitting here selling sex work at all, but I think it's a little hypocritical in a sense that virtually everyone watches porn, everyone does whatever they do.
Nope,
Yeah.
a lot of people
I did well.
I'm not talking about anyone at this table. I'm talking about, like, isn't it something like 70% of the internet traffic is porn, something like that? Like, everyone is using all of this stuff or being part of it to some extent. and then like looking at the people that are openly part of it and trying to explain what their life is,
But-
and giving them shit for it. It just seems incredibly
But Dave,
ironic.
like, I want to dig into why you're saying your preference for your children is for them to not
Well,
do sex
I'm saying
work.
the same thing for them. I think ultimately, if she met the greatest guy tomorrow and was like, I want to take care of you, I want you to be the mother of my children, blah, 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 I suspect you would think that would be a better choice.
100%.
But
Yeah.
Dave,
Yeah.
when it comes to just because you consume something doesn't mean that you have to actively participate it. In other words,
Well,
just because
consuming
if
is
you
a type
watch
of participation.
right, but like for example, I like to watch the NFL. I don't want to go play in the NFL and go get CTE and go get a bunch of concussions. I'm not obliged. I like to watch the NFL. If I think there are certain health risks for my son to participate in playing in the NFL, while I might enjoy watching the sport, I might admire their athleticism, I might say to my son, it might not be, listen, you're probably not going to play professionally. Maybe you don't play in high school and get a bunch of concussions. That's going to fuck you up. Similarly with porn, just because you watch porn doesn't mean that you are then obliged to either date a woman who does porn, or you're not obliged to encourage your son or daughter to watch or to become a porn actress. Just because you watch it, I don't think it makes you hypocritical.
I think he's saying,
it doesn't even
is that
make
what you think I said?
I think he was saying
definitely
like
didn't say
your
that.
actions speak louder than your words, and if you are ardently speaking out against porn but then consuming it, that's like a massive contradiction, for one. And then two, in the example of like football or sex work, if you say that you're anti-sex work but then you are supporting OnlyFans models or you are consuming pornography, paying and like putting money towards it, you are helping like grow that industry and create and like voting with your dollar effectively.
By the way, you can also have an ideal in life that you're aiming towards, that you're not always getting to, but that you're working towards. So there might be some things you're doing along the way that if you're trying to get in a specific direction and you see what the end goal of what you want in life is, whatever that might be, whether it's that you want to be married and have kids or you want to build a great business or whatever, if you're going in that direction and doing it honestly and forthrightly, like my general feeling is that things will work out.
But
one
do
way or
we
another.
agree at least that doing sex work is not an ideal path toward finding eventually
Yeah, well,
marriage.
I said several times, I
Donated
suspect, and she's agreeing with me,
$99.
yeah.
Buddhism directly disagrees with self-fulfillment through selfish desires. It is believed to be a hindrance to true enlightenment and the proper pleasures meant to be experienced in life. So you're either full of it or not familiar with the practice.
Buddhism. Okay, I'm not. I think kind of the initial conversation was your sister, she's an escort. She does OnlyFans. These two women are escorts. They prostitute. So, sorry. Okay.
Grid 1
Hold on, I'll
Motorsports
come back to
donated
it.
$100. If my son brought home a prostitute as a girlfriend, he and I would have a long talk about where I effed up teaching him values and morality. After we covered the sofa and chairs with plastic.
Okay, that was
Thank
funny.
you.
I
Thank
love
you,
that
good
one.
No, so they're involved in prostitution. Your father is happy with it. You said that your parents are
And
supportive.
my parents know that I do OnlyFans and all of that. Yeah.
Right, and I think kind of where that whole thing stemmed from was I was saying that, and I'm not sure. I think maybe Dave, you introduced the porn component into it, so that's kind of where my train of thought was with my argument. But
You said most women or most men wouldn't want to date a sex worker, right?
yeah, and I do think, like, I don't know. I don't think a parent should be like encouraging or co-signing sex work.
I mean, we're not saying that, oh my god, our parents are like rooting for us to like
Loose
do.
Pussy Energy donated $99. With all due disrespect, most guys don't want gross 304s that have been ran through and got more bodies than John Wick. L for the parents, gay simp, and Four Eyes Kappa screechy voice troll. Brian, it's time to Frank Castle.
No,
This
that's fine.
is Sparta. Hashtag feud them, hashtag 8 at 18.
So
I think I agree with you, Brian, that like most men, if you ask them would say that they don't want to date a sex worker, they don't want to date anyone who's involved in pornography or the porn industry, but I think actions speak louder than words. And if you pulled 100 random dudes from the street and asked like if they had the opportunity to go out with like Mia Khalifa or like Sasha Grey, do you think that they would say they don't want to?
If they do, it's because they're horny for her, not because they want to
But
cherish her.
they'd still do it. This is my point. Like they can
Fair
say
enough.
that like
What
I
they
wouldn't
want
They'd
is
still do
to
what?
use
like go out on
those
a date
women.
with Mia Khalifa or Sasha Grey.
Because they see
He
them
said
as
he-
sexual objects who they want to hook up with.
He said they wouldn't want to wife Mia Khalifa. They might, even if they say yes, they might think they want to wife Mia Khalifa because she's hot. But that's
Is she,
that's
though?
not their. I mean,
Wait,
also
Brian, do you,
at the
if you
end
think
of the
out of like
day,
if you
Mia
pulled
Khalifa's
100 American
marriage.
guys, they wouldn't want to. If you,
She's a kind of
What's that?
nasty
What's that?
bitch, and I'm not talking about
Mia
her
Khalifa's
looks.
marriage
you just
broke
pulled-
down as a result of her porn career. She said
3
that her
times.
husband actually admitted to her that he was no longer comfortable with the fact that there were existing videos of her having sex with other men on the internet.
Go
She
ahead,
said
Erin.
that
Go
did
ahead.
contribute to the end of her marriage.
Go ahead.
but I'm just asking if you pulled like 100 American guys
Yeah.
and asked them, would you like to go out on a date with Mia Khalifa right now? You have the opportunity to. Do you think that the majority would say no?
Depends what street you're on.
Average American guy got all the
Would they
American.
go with Mia Khalifa?
Would they go out on a date
Can't
with
you
Mia
think
Khalifa?
of someone who?
Yeah,
Lana
just
Rhodes.
say
Out of-
say
out of
porn
100
star in
dudes.
general,
No.
not one, because men have different
out
preferences.
of 100 guys, how many
Would-
do you think would say no to a date with Mia Khalifa?
Well, okay, so
Do they think it involves sex?
It doesn't matter.
Just a date. It's a broad question.
Just
Like
a date.
They want to
But-
court
Yeah, because-
Mia Khalifa for marriage?
It's
no.
hard to
it's
say.
the question.
Nobody said
The
marriage.
only
It's hard to
question that
say.
they're being asked,
He said
that these
I don't-
100 men are being asked, is would you go on a date with Mia Khalifa right
We
now?
have a simp epidemic, so it could very well be the case that a high proportion of them say yes, but and my personal standard is I mean, if you've done porn, because there's some guys' standard is, well, I would date them casually, like I'd hook up with them, but I'd never take them seriously for a long-term relationship or marriage. If a girl's involved in that kind of work, I wouldn't even want casual sex with her. I don't want to kiss her. I don't want to go on a date.
Your
I don't
personal
want nothing.
preference.
Sure.
Wait, you think the average guy?
I think a lot of men probably, I don't know, majority, minority, I think a lot of guys also just wouldn't want to even pursue it anyways. But I do think there's a lot of simps. There's a lot of simps, and there's a lot of men who get very little attention from men. Holy fuck. Excuse me, sorry, I misspoke. There's a lot of people that get very little
Zero's
attention from
Maxi
women.
donated
So
$100. The first day I moved to LA, I met a girl I really liked, found out she had an OF and I didn't
Paul?
care. The more we hung
Okay,
out, the
I
more
see them in
feelings
chat.
developed, and the more the OF became a problem, so we broke up. Once the surface novelty wore off, I had to end it.
See, this is,
so,
this is
I mean-
what happened with Mia Khalifa's marriage.
so I could poll my audience, but I suspect you'd say, well, it's not representative.
Well, I was just asking you, average American, not your. Because do you think your audience is like comprises of like the average American guy?
Well,
or no?
I would say like a large portion of my audience maybe would agree more so with my position on this. So I don't know if it would be representative of
the average
the
guy.
average American guy.
So you talked about, you said for your personal preference, no, but you really think that the average guy in America is saying no to a date with Mia Khalifa?
Okay, can I add something?
It's
real
hard to
quick?
say. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think if they had the chance, they might say I would never date a sex worker, but if they had the opportunity to date someone
That's
like Mia
because we're in
Khalifa,
a
like
simp epidemic.
Amaranth, like
we're
Sasha.
in a simp epidemic. Of
But
course.
you were saying earlier that like, you know, men need to step up and tell women that they're not going to accept like, you know, girlfriends as
Yes.
girlfriends as sex
Sure.
workers and stuff like that. But I'm saying, if I agree with you, the majority of guys already don't want that, but yet sex work industry is only getting larger and larger. So I don't think male condemnation is putting women off of wanting to enter sex work at all. And then especially when it's so lucrative for some of them, you know, very few, but for the few that it is lucrative for, it's just encouraging that.
All right, let me add
Encouraging
something.
what? From men to what?
If men financially support OnlyFans or sex workers in
Sure.
some way, then that's an endorsement of that behavior in a small way because you're voting with your dollar and you're expanding the industry. There's a financial incentive there for women to enter into it.
Right.
Are you-
As long as
I don't
will
deny
keep
that
doing this
simps
until-
exist. I know that there are men who
Sex
co-sign on
exists, but I'm
sex
talking
work.
about the average guy. I think the average guy consumes pornography, and the average guy is also consuming like OnlyFans and stuff like that. Like, I don't think that,
That
the
in
subset
no way
of men.
means that they would want to marry the women.
I never
that
said that
are
they'd want to
watching.
marry them,
Okay,
but Brian
but-
made the claim that they wouldn't even consider them.
That's
and
not
I'm saying I
true.
don't think that's true.
He said he wouldn't consider them for marriage. So his initial point was that he doesn't think guys want to have a long-term relationship or to wife a girl who's done sex work. And then you were like, so if you polled all these men and asked them if they would go on a date, a date isn't
Nickelodeon
marriage.
donated
I never said a date was marriage.
$99. I don't think these girls chose to come into the prostitution business. It came into them. P.S. No, Mia is a terrorist sympathizer.
That's
Let's
true,
not
that's
get into
true.
that.
That's true.
But his initial point was marriage and long-term relationship, and then you brought up a completely separate point of one date. And he said yes, that they probably would because simps exist. So what are we arguing?
It's just about a relationship. I think.
There's a lot
Zero's
here. Holy
Maxi
shit.
donated $100. I assume
You
a
got
lot
two
of
in a row.
men would take the Mia date if they think she's hot and might get laid out of it. But the majority of them wouldn't want something long-term with her since all their boys have seen her naked. Guys don't want a wife that. It's common sense.
Hence,
If
Mia
it's common
Khalifa's
sense, but Brian, you were
divorce.
really hesitant to say that most guys wouldn't take a date with her. It seemed like you thought like maybe they'd take a date, but we have simps, or like they wouldn't be really doing it to like get to know her, it'd be doing it to hook up. But they still do
Stochastic
it.
Decay donated $99.
Yo, welcome,
Hey
Stochastic.
brain. Sorry I'm late. Long day. As you know, I'm
Got
a
another one
slumlord.
after this coming in.
It's totally legal. At first my parents
what?
didn't like it. I've retired them, and now they're proud of me. Everything is legal. People who are negatively impacted aren't my problem. Legal.
Wait,
Legal.
I'm so confused.
This is probably
He's a slumlord?
Maybe
I think
he's
saying
joking.
Doc
Alright.
Vinably donated
there's a lot coming.
$100.
Yeah, thank you.
This
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so
conversation
much.
is so absurd. No mentally healthy man would date or marry a sex worker. Has nothing to do with narrow-mindedness. To the girl in the back, yes, your father is a weak man. I am disgusted by Mia K, not even with 10-foot pole.
That is Dr.
Yeah,
Nablis.
my
Do you have a-
father's not a weak man. He was in the Vietnam War, so he actually served this country. So he is not a weak man. I really disagree with that.
Just says weak virtue.
My only point is that guys may say that they wouldn't do it, but when the opportunity is presented, I think a lot more men suddenly would start doing it. Actions speak louder than words.
I've done a social experiment on Tinder.
You've done a social experiment on Tinder?
Yep.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
isn't
I've
it,
been doing it.
Isn't
quite
it the case,
frequently
if
when
I
I'm
recall
bored.
the previous show you were on, you said that if you're just casually dating a guy, you do not disclose that you're a
They
prostitute.
don't even make it past the texting point. Like I'll be like,
Yeah, but you said you will meet up with guys, hook up with them,
dude,
be on dates.
outside of my job, I do not
You don't tell them.
go and hook up with guys.
Yeah, I think you should. I think we talked about that last time.
No, I'm good.
No, I don't think you- I'm saying you should-
I'm good. I don't want to go hook up with
No,
people.
no, no. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I mean you should disclose, even if it's a casual sexual encounter. I do think you should disclose
I honestly
to
think
men
I'm gray
that you're-
sexual. And
What does that
what?
even mean?
So it's like when I just
Gray sexual.
Yeah, like if
what
I-
does that mean?
it's. Do you know what it is?
Did you pull that one up?
I like kind
Well,
of
if
men
you
and
are
women
gray
both.
sexual, do you know
Did
what
you
it
show
means?
that?
And men and women both. Bisexual,
just-
not
I
bisexual.
don't-
You're just
need-
not really affected by sex one way
Yeah.
or the other.
Okay.
Right, and so
That
I-
makes sense.
And so I'm not like exactly like
it could
I'm
be a
not,
man or a woman.
So outside of my work and my profession, I'm trying
Bender the Offender
to.
donated $99. That shirt should say skip me.
Your T-shirt,
Pay me.
because your T-shirt says "Pay me."
Your OnlyFans.
Okay,
Subscribe to my OnlyFans. I'm currently having a sale.
so you're saying gray sexual
Haram.
is you are not affected by sex? What does that
I just
mean?
like outside of work, I don't just go and date guys and hook up with guys outside of work. I'm
Why?
just not.
What is gray sexual? Define gray sexual, please.
I don't. I'm not. I don't.
What is
like,
that?
Like you love who you
Look,
love.
Yeah, it's like
What does that mean?
it means I don't need to have sex all the time. So it's like I don't know.
I
I'm not
feel
attracted.
like it's like if you're looking at
You're
it
not-
in your
can
brain,
pull
I
out
feel
my
like
phone
her
to Google it or whatever.
maybe when it comes to sex, oxytocin, that's what gets released, just doesn't really get released very much for her. So she's just unaffected one way or the other when it comes to sex, no matter the gender, no matter whatever.
Like I like what I like, and like
Wait, okay, hold on.
That's
Can
what
you move
great
your mic
sexual
this way,
sounds
please?
like it would be.
Not okay. Maybe that's.
But
too
I'm
much.
just-
I don't know.
You are
just guessing.
desensitized.
I'm not
from
desensitized.
sex
I'm not
because it's what you
desensitized.
do.
You might be
I
desensitized.
need-
There might be a little
with a partner-
desensitization, just a tad.
No,
a little bit of
with a
little
partner
bit, just a
that
little.
I want to pursue, there needs to be an emotional connection for me to be able to want to pursue that.
Okay, that's not a
That's
sexual
normal.
orientation.
I think
that
that's
is normal
demisexual.
sexuality.
Right?
Demisexual?
If I could
Yeah.
pull out my phone right
No,
now and read the
that's
definition.
Can
normal.
we just go
That's
back to the
not
50s?
Needing an emotional connection to have sexual attraction,
What?
that is normal sexuality. That's
Bro, do you
not
need the
an
definition? You don't need to
orientation.
get up. I'll just look it up.
She's about to
God,
Google
bruv.
gray sexual.
Here,
for us.
while she does that, hold on. I need to read this chat.
That's the first
Hold
time I've
on.
heard of gray sexual.
Hold on.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was
Bender
just
the,
guessing.
stop, guys, stop. Bender the offender. Thank you, man. Ladies, if a woman you know just had their first child, prioritized her career, and 10 years later she did not know she was going to pass on, do you think the mother should have gone further in her career? Now imagine if you were that mother.
Oh. First child prior to her. Oh.
Wait, just for the
What?
really quick to you, do you want kids one day?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to have kids? Do you have kids?
No, I have no kids.
Do you want a daughter, son,
I want
whatever?
kids,
you want some
yeah,
kids?
but-
Would you? Let's say your daughter came to you and she was like, "Hey, mom, I want to start escorting. I want to become a prostitute." Would you be like, "Go for it, honey," or would you try to direct her to not go down that path?
I mean, it depends. You know, that's her life or his or hers.
You wouldn't give her counsel as.
No, I'm saying like I would, but it's just like I don't really know how I would explain it. I guess. Yeah, I mean, like my kid, like the way I grew up. Like I said, my dad, you know, woman cooks and cleans and stuff like that. But like I said, my dad also taught us to be very independent. So my sister chose to go down as a sex worker routine. My other sisters, they work. Like we all work regular
Sure.
jobs, you know. But I feel like maybe I don't think my daughter would end up doing that. But if the possibility were to occur, I'd probably give her some safety notes on what
But would you do anything to try to prevent her from doing it, telling her how disappointed you would be? Trying to, I don't know, what kind of maneuvers you could make to try to discourage her from getting into that profession?
I don't think I would ever tell my daughter, like, I'm very disappointed in you. Shame on you because that's what you want to do.
See,
Like-
we need to bring shame
Because
back.
you love your daughter.
We
Yeah, I
got to
love my-
bring shame
don't
back
get me wrong,
because
but like I said, I don't think my daughter would even ever consider being a sex
Why do you
worker
think that?
or anything
Why-
like that.
sorry, hold on
Random
just a
Mills
sec.
donated $99. You're either straight or you're gay. You're either male or female.
Okay.
It actually leaves me with a dark depression that this is the dating market I get to choose from. Also Heineck and Madison C.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you.
You said you love your daughter, so love is not
Like,
acceptance. Acceptance and love don't go hand in hand at all. In fact, if you love somebody and you feel something is right, you want to push them to what is right. You're not going to
Why do
accept
you
them doing
think-
that. I mean, something that you think, whether, I'm not even talking about sex work. If you think something's damaging to your child, whether it's sex work or not, whatever it is, and they're going to do that, you're not going to be like, okay, sweetheart, I love you, so I'm going to accept that you're doing something damaging. Love is an acceptance.